Welcome back to the Making the Madness YouTube channel. Sean back again for another, little transfer news early on this Friday. Jonathan obviously killed it there with the James Akinjo video, headed to Baylor. So definitely check that out. The defending national champions have added, a top 10 transfer on the board. I think I had him 11th. So, borderline 10th, close enough. So let's go right now with a sneaky addition because he didn't play much last season, just because Oregon was stacked in the guard department with Will Richardson, Chris Duarte, LJ Figueroa, missing a name there. But yeah, Oregon was stacked in the guard department. Jalen Terry is a former top 100 guy, was a freshman last season, and he has all 4 years of eligibility left due to the free year because of COVID. He's headed to play for Tony Stubfield at DePaul. And here's the thing about, Coach Stubfield landing Jalen Terry. He recruited him out of high school, which makes a ton of sense. Obviously, now headed to DePaul, Stubfield was the head assistant at Oregon for a long time. So now he heads to DePaul to be the head man. He brings Jalen Terry with him, who had his final two as DePaul and Mississippi State. And he's going to make noise in the Big East. He's a very talented guard. He's super quick. He's loaded with talent. He's 5'11", 165, but he's quick and can shoot the ball from deep. I think he's going to definitely be a major factor in the conference just because of, the foundation of talent that's there for Terry. I think he's going to have the freedom to do what he wants because you don't have Charlie Moore. He left Miami. You have an opening at the point guard spot, and Terry's going to fill that very nicely. And just looking at what DePaul has right now, obviously you lose Jalen Butts, who opted out of last season. He hasn't transferred anywhere yet, but he's in the portal. Charlie Moore went to Miami, so those are the two big ones right there. But you do return a solid amount of talent. I mean, you do add Ty and Grant Foster from Kansas, former top-end JUCO recruit from Indian Hills Community College a few years ago. Very versatile guy. He can defend 1 through 5. He's super athletic. He, showed flashes at Kansas, but never got on the floor consistently. Bill Self neglected to play him, which is just an incorrect thing to do, in my opinion. And I think Grant Foster certainly could have played a big role last season, but for whatever reason, he just didn't play much. But you did return Javon Freeman Liberty. That's a guy who averaged double figures. He was one of DePaul's top scorers last year. The Valpo transfer should be a pretty big force next season. And Oregon was in on his recruitment as a transfer last year. So, Tony Stubfield gets to keep a guy that he recruited. So, that's pretty positive there. And then you also return, you return him, Corvisier McCauley, former D2 transfer. He is staying put for now. Marquise Jacobs should be back. He's dealt with some injuries, but I think he will be back. Romeo Weems is a future pro. He's a future NBA talent. I think once, they let him do what he wants more, let him be let him drive, let him shoot, let him be more versatile. I think he could do everything on the floor. There's no limitations to what Romeo Weems can do. He's a high-end defender. He can shoot the ball from outside and he can drive. I think if this new coaching staff lets Romeo Weems do what he can do, he can be one of the best players in the Big East and be a top, 40 NBA draft pick. I think that's the kind of talent you have with him. And then Davy Jones, who reclassified last year, played, I believe, starting in January. He showed a ton of talent. He's a guy that was a top 100 recruit. He's staying put. I think that's a very big thing because he's a talented, two guard / wing. He's really athletic and can shoot the ball. I think he has a super high ceiling. And I think, Coach Tony Stubfield is building something pretty, solid at DePaul. I mean, Dave Lato had that program in kind of a bad spot for a number of years. Obviously, 2 seasons ago, they were ranked at one point. And they looked like a lock to make the NCAA tournament before they completely imploded in Big East play, winning only 2 conference games, I believe, to my recollection. Obviously, the NCAA tournament didn't end up happening in 2019-20. They wouldn't have made it anyways because they just imploded. But I like the roster that the new coaching staff is building for the Blue Demons. I mean, this is a team where you kind of have to take shots with some guys. You have to take shots for upside because DePaul, while they're in the Big East, they haven't won a lot in the Big East. I mean, they just haven't. They haven't won a lot since their Conference USA days. So it's just been a while since the Blue Demon. It's been 20 years since the Blue Demons have made the tournament. I mean, it's not been easy for DePaul to get players. They've had some talent. They just haven't been able to win games. They had Paul Reed, who was a top 45 pick for the 76ers last season. I mean, there's been talent. They just have not been able to put the pieces together and win games consistently. But I think the new coaching staff is pretty good. I like Tony Stubblefield. I think he's going to be able to build a culture at DePaul and start winning games. But for now, this is a solid start. Jalen Terry could be the future of the program. So definitely thanks for checking this video out, liking and subscribing. Until next time, have a good